Well, we started way back in 1988 when we bought a property in Upper Murchie at Nelson in New Zealand. And it was in a rundown state, and I'd had a joinery franchise that I'd built up over 12 months and bought off the joiner that I was working for. And I needed to go to the market to do some promotions and to take my display boards so that people could see what I was talking about. And I'd done that one Saturday, and my wife was there with me, and so she decided the second Saturday we went that she would make a few pots of jam from the raspberries that were on the farm we bought. That turned out to be very good. While I talked to people and got probably a week or a fortnight's worth of quoting work to go out and do, she was able to sell the dozen pots of jam or so of raspberry jam that she had made. And we were quite pleased about that. Paid for the stand, paid for our lunch, and probably went a long way towards paying for our fuel. Just about met our costs, and thought, oh gee, this is good. We're covering our advertising costs in the joinery business. The following Saturday we went back to the market and we did the same thing. And people came up to us and said, you know, give me another fix. I want some more of that jam. It's the best jam I've ever tasted. And that was kind of surprising because there were other people that were in the market that were selling jam as well. So what happened over the next few weeks was that we started to make more and more raspberry jam. And I became aware that there was something about the jam that people wanted. And I could see there was just a demand for it. And just people come back and they would drive from Richmond, which is about 20 minutes drive away from the market in the morning, come and buy a pot or 2 pots of jam and go back home again. Got to the stage where they're waiting at the entrance of the market for us to come in, because we parked in a different place every market day, and sometimes they couldn't find us, so they'd wait at the entrance to see us drive in and then follow us around till they found where we were parked and buy the jam and go home. So I said to my wife, I said, this is what we'll do with our raspberry, with our farm and our raspberries. We'll grow raspberries and we'll make jam out of them and sell it in markets and supermarkets and everything like that. You know, it'd be a good business. Kay, I think, had a vision at that stage of seeing herself in the jam factory. And she was a very, very skilled teacher, and she was still teaching, and I don't think the transition from teaching to working in a jam factory appealed that very much. So things had to change a little, and they did. So I got involved in making the jam, and it really became a partnership, a joint venture between us. It was popular, it did work. Over when we got the next main crop in, over a series of a year or so, we built up a clientele at the market. And people who came from surrounding districts, who come from Invercargill or Auckland or even Australia, would phone us and write to us and say, can I get some more jam? So we established a mail order system for that, for those who had it and wanted to reorder. We never went to the extent of promoting it or advertising it or doing it on the internet or anything on the internet. It wasn't really working then, was it? We started to build a business, and then one day a gentleman by the name of Gerald Haycock, who had a fruit and veggie shop at Tahuna, came up to me and he said, Owen, I would like to sell your jam in my shop. And I was saying, yes, yeah, right, Gerald, you can. Bearing in mind at this stage we were probably still putting it into old glass jars that had been washed and cleaned, and small plastic cups with cellophane on top and this sort of thing. So Jared says, righto, when we had to sit down and work out a price and to sell it to him and all the rest of it. So and we also had to look for some form of packaging. And I don't know whether it was the same day, but it was pretty close to that another gentleman whose business was in making plastic pots came to us and started to talk to us about the plastic pots he had that would be ideal to put our jam in. And so that's what we did. We started with the plastic pot that had been used to put mussels in. It was a mussel pot, and so we started selling it in Arkwright's fruit and veggie place. It was hilarious, really. Gerald was a bit of a hard case. He actually made jam for me later, came and worked for us for a time. But Gerald had the jam in his fruit and veggie shop. He's a bit of a character, and he'd been telling all these customers about this old couple, about 90, that were stirring their jam out in the moot tree, and they're bringing it in, and he was selling it to them. He liked the story, and we were in the shop one day, standing there talking to him. It was the first time we'd actually been in to see how things were going, and he says, "Don't hang about, go away, because you're going to spoil my story if you start to meet the customers, because I'm telling them, about this old guy." So that was the first retailer that sold our jam. There was we then started saying, well, okay, if he can do it, well, maybe we can put it in other places. So we approached other local supermarkets or other local outlets, shops, and at that time, and put it in and started to sell it. It was very popular. It was only raspberry jam, remember, at the stage. Then we had a guy who owned a small dairy, it was, or a small shop at Matawaika. And every 6 weeks or a couple of months or so, he would go and visit his friends in Milton. And when he went down there, they had a Smith's variety store in Milton. And when he went down, he took a toted trailer and he put a load of jam on the back of the trailer. And Smith's would put a sign up in their store to say, "Jam arriving next Wednesday." And so that he would off down there with this trailer load of jam. They would load it up into the store on the Wednesday, and by the end of the week it was all sold. And what people did was they knew the jam was coming, and so they would buy 2 or 3 months worth at the time. And that was another means of how do you organise that? If you're going to get a promotional plan and start a business, you've got to get somebody here who'll cart it down to here for nothing and put it in a store and do that. The support that we got was amazing. We didn't actually have to spend any money on advertising, any money on promotions or anything like that, and because there were all these people that were so excited about the jam and so willing to help us, that it was really like a fairy tale. Once we started doing that, we then started to sell in a few supermarkets and a few shops, and we'd been in the market in Nelson for quite some time. We started going to the market on Sundays in Christchurch, and that helped also. As a matter of fact, the market in Christchurch was for 2 days on the weekend, and our daughter looked after the Nelson market while we went down there. That sort of spread the word a bit more. We had contact with our customers. We knew, we talked to them. We could see by return purchases that they liked the product. It wasn't a matter of saying, we didn't have to say, well, this is really good, we said, well, it's raspberry jam, try it, see what it's like. If you don't like it, it's all right. As a matter of fact, if there's anything wrong with it, bring back and I'll give you money back. And so we went on like that, and we built up a customer. Then somebody said, well, we decided, well, maybe I should. Well, our production sort of doubled every year. We froze 5 tonne, 2.5 tonne the first year of raspberries, 5 tonne the second year, 10 tonne the second year, and the next year, and then we got up to about 20 tonne that we're freezing for production of raspberry jam. By this stage, I decided that I was going to try and get into more supermarkets throughout the South Island. So I approached Foodstuffs, and they said they would support the product. That turned out to be very good.